Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins. Thank you so much for joining me on the Craftstash channel. Now today we have a fantastic new launch of products at Craftstash. This is exclusive to us and it's Sooty, everyone's favourite hand puppet. So Sooty, Sweep and Sue are all included within this collection. Let's run through the new items and then I'm going to create a card and I'm going to be incorporating this fantastic die set from Made to Surprise, and it's called Moving Scenes, which I think is going to work really well with the puppet sort of effect from the Sooty collection. Now, first of all, we have 8x8 papers. These are toppers and backing sheets as well. So they're all on 190 GSM, so a really good weight of cardstock. They're not double-sided, so you don't need to worry about which side to use. And as you can see, you've got lots of icons here that you can use. So you get duplicates of each one. There we go, we've got the Sooty and Sweep show. We've got, of course, we do have Sue in there too. Your Berry Special. Izzy Wizzy, Let's Get Busy. See, I knew that. I've said that for years, but I never remembered where I actually said it from or where I heard it. So have a super birthday with Sue and happy birthday. This is just going to bring back so many memories. And then there are also backing sheets as well that work with all the different designs. So they're your papers, and next we have some stamp and die sets. These are all the characters. What I love about these is you don't need to do lots and lots of colouring. You can probably get away with stamping on one layer of coloured cardstock with the black ink and maybe just adding a few additional accents with your pens, because really this is sort of just yellow, just grey. Sue is a little bit different, but you could probably stamp her in white with the black and just not have to worry about too much colouring, which I love. They're all really good size stamps as well, and as I say, you do have underneath here the dies that cut them all out for you. Then we have the sentiments as well. Again, that Izzy Wizzy, Let's Get Busy. You are the very best. I'm always here to lend a helping hand. Sending fuzzy yellow bear hugs. And bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Do I remember him saying that? Definitely. And then we've got the washi tape strips as well. And lastly, we have ephemera. Now, today I'm going to be working with the ephemera with this Moving Scenes card because it's going to be quick and easy for you to replicate, but if you want to, you could use the stamps and dies instead. Now, as I say, everything I'm using today is available at Craftstash. You're going to be able to find all the details and links for where to get everything down in the description below, or if you hold on to the end, I'll flash up a link for you to click there too. So, using this mechanism, now I have already cut the mechanism parts, or if you want to see a really detailed description on how to put this together, you can check out our Craftstash YouTube channel where we have lots of tutorials for all the different card bases that Made to Surprise bring us. So I chose to use this flowery pattern paper from the pattern paper pack. This one is going to have Sue at the bottom and Sooty and Sweep are going to be moving around in the background. This does have 3 slots, but I don't have to use all of those. I'm probably just going to use the middle 2 and leave the top 1 together. So I've die cut this panel here. I've also die cut myself a base panel. I've taken inspiration from the pale blue. That's going to go on there. Now I'm using the 5x7 inch mechanism, so that's going to fit beautifully on my 5x7 card base. So I'm just going to pop that to the side for now because I've also cut out all the mechanism parts. This bit is a little more complicated, but not difficult really. Just take your time with it. I'm going to run through it quite quickly, but like I said, if you need a detailed description, you can check out our YouTube channel and we have got more in-depth videos using this mechanism on there. So this bit is essentially a paper brad. So I'm just going to pop the arms of the smaller circle through the larger circle there. Open that up, take a little bit of glue, just apply a bit of glue to each of the arms. I'm going to call them the arms, the pins maybe, and pop the 3rd circle, and this is just a complete circle on top, and you'll notice that that is actually exactly the width or the diameter of those arms where they come to. So just squeezing that for a moment just to make sure that that has glued, but I also want to ensure that I'm not catching on anything there, so I'm now going to give that a little bit of a move. Yeah, that's perfect. So I've now got my mechanism kind of turning circle there ready to start adding arms to. So now we need to add our arms. Okay, so I've cut the first one, which is an angled piece, and there's just one of these. This is going to be the pull tab, and this one is going to go in this circle just here. So if we take the two closest together, bring them down to the bottom, so you have 3 evenly spaced arms, I guess, and then, or holes, and then it's this odd one that's down to the right here that's going to have your pull tab attached to it, just like so, with one of the little brads. Now I know that I'm going to use 2 of these arms rather than 3, so I'm going to put 1 in each of these top circles as well. I could have another one in this circle here, but I don't need that one. So I'm going to use brads again, and these are around about 5mm brads, so they're quite small ones. And I'm just making sure I'm squeezing them quite tight. Now what I've done is I've gone for quite flathead brads. You can find these. Sometimes they're more domed, and that kind of depends on how much foam tape you're going to need to use in a moment. There we go. So we should have 3 moving arms as such with each of our circles. Okay, so now it's time to start thinking about putting this together. Now I find this easier because I need lots of different shape and size foam adhesive. I find it easier to use the Creative Craft Products foam sheets, so I can then cut down the strips or the squares that I need. First thing I need is a square that's going to sit on the front here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to bring in these 2. So these are my panels. So this is the base of my card, and this is where this is going to go over the top. So I'm kind of just going to position this so that I'm happy with where everything goes. Let's just bring that down a little bit further. So I'm probably on the arms there, like so. I'm not worried about the 2 pink arms at the moment at all. There we go. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to take off this foam backing and pop my paper back down over the top, leaving that border. There we go. So that's now on there in place. Now my first arm, I'm going to just bend it and tuck it under the first slot on the paper, and then I'm going to do the same with the second one. So I've got those 2 and the pull out tab or arm here, and if you just give those a wiggle, you should see that you should get a bit of, just a little bit of movement up and down, side to side. They won't go all the way side to side because we are going to restrict them in a moment, but just give yourself an idea, make sure that you're happy with how that's all working. Now the first thing to do is to actually use these strips and just create a little bit of a track here. This is just for this arm, just to make sure that this pull tab isn't going to come out too far, and I will be cutting this shorter. So the 2, like I say, the 2 bits of foam that I just put down, I'm going to, the 2 bits of foam I've just cut, I'm going to use that there. Perfect. And then for these, so the pink ones, I'm going to give those just a little bit of movement each. So let's keep them around there. So now I'm going to cut myself some more squares. So let's put one first of all around here. I'm going to attach my backing card to the card base first of all and get that on there. I'm avoiding the holes. I love the holes in this back panel though, they just work really well with the design, the sort of cartoon design, the Sooty and Sweep, and Sue, of course. Now I want to be really careful as I'm peeling the backing off that the arms stay where they need to be whilst I turn this, flip this over and stick it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of low tack tape on each of my arms just to hold those where they need to be. This is used low tack tape just to make sure it doesn't peel anything off of my pattern paper later. So that will just hold those in place while I stick everything down. There we go, and with everything all unstuck, I'm going to turn this over, place it down onto my card base, press everything down, and then I should be able to remove the low tack tape. There, perfect. So now we've got a little bit of a wiggle on each one. Not a lot, I didn't want a lot, but just a little was enough. So I'm just going to trim this down a touch. And now I'm going to delve into the ephemera and bring these to life. So I have got a Sooty and a Sweep. I've got a Sue, but there's different variants here. So I think there's even a Christmas one. I think I'm going to have Sue with her watering can down the bottom. I think I'm going to have Sooty with the magic wand. I did see a magic wand here as well, so I think I'm going to have him with that. There it is, so he could be waving that around. And then of course I'm going to have Sweep, and he can be just on there, and we can tuck him in just a touch as well if we want to. Okay, happy with those. So what I'm going to do now is trim down my, in fact that one doesn't need trimming down, this one needs trimming down just a touch, like so. I'm going to now stick my characters to the arms. This one, Sue, as I said, she's not actually being stuck down, she's just going to be sitting on the base here. So just put the wand on Sooty's arm there, and then give that a jiggle and make sure they all move around. No one or nothing's going where it shouldn't be. Perfect. Okay, happy with that. So there we have all the three characters on the card, and when I pull the tab, they're moving up and down, which is just brilliant. It just looks so much like the show when I was little and I used to come home from school and watch it on the TV. So you can of course create absolutely any scene you want with these. Now you've got all the backing papers, the toppers, the stamps as well with all the different sentiments, and the stamp and die sets. There's so much to choose from, and I think this mechanism from Made to Surprise just works absolutely perfectly. So you can find everything I've used just here at Craftstash. Please do subscribe to the Craftstash YouTube channel just here as well for more videos like this. But we think you'd also really like this particular video here.